Hey Fisherman, Aqua Duelist here, and today I'm giving you guys an update to my dual avatar deck. Now, I absolutely love dual avatars, they're really cool. Favorite archetype we probably got in the last year, and with Dawn of the Majesty, we got a couple cards that this deck can utilize and just kind of take advantage of, honestly. So I thought it'd be a good idea to do an update to it. Now, this is this is a going first build. I know I've done a couple different, going first and then going second builds and such on the channel. This one you want to go first with, and honestly, what's really cool with dual avatars is the fact that they're a one-trick pony in a sense. You have like one card combos to make two fusions. It's mostly one card combo, but you have a few different ways to go into it, kinda. But you have so much space to really just kind of, for text and such, and make the deck kind of how you want it. So I feel like this deck, regardless, as time goes on, it's still going to have potential. Even though we're probably never going to get more direct support, lore-wise and stuff. Like, there's not much they can go off of, so another thing cool, lore for this deck is really cool, so love that. So guys, if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and harpoon that subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. We're going to go ahead and jump into this deck. Now, first off, playing 3 copies of Dual Avatar Fist Yui, or UI. Yui, I think that's how it's pronounced, remember correctly. I was listening to like the Japanese, how to pronounce them and such. So with this guy, he's the best card. He's the main one you want to see. So with him, you pop a dual avatar you control, you destroy it, and you add a dual avatar spell from deck to hand. Now with him, when you have a dual avatar fusion that was fusion with a effect monster, if it gets destroyed while he's in grave, you add him back to hand. So the thing is with that, it's not like your opponent's card, if you destroy it or your opponent destroys it, it's just if it's destroyed. So it's got some really nice recyclability. The whole thing with dual avatars is they focus on destroying their monsters to basically interrupt their opponent's card, opponent's plays and such. You have like weird interruptions and such, so it's really cool. The deck doesn't really do negates for the most part. It's more of interruptions, so that's something unique to this deck. Next up, 3 copies of Dual Avatar Feet Koku. So with this guy, if he's summoned, you get to add a Dual Avatar trap from deck to hand. So if a dual avatar you control gets destroyed, you get to special summon him, and you can pop a dual avatar, and then you special summon a dual avatar extra monster. So he's pretty cool. You can basically cheat out, your extra monsters in a sense. So that's kind of cool. My favorite one to go into is Empowered. What is it? Not Ongyo, but Ungyo. So I think it's Empowered. No, it's Armored. Sorry. Because then we basically get to pop an opponent's monster. So, last card I play, 3 for monsters at least. 3 copies of Link Apple. So with this guy, he's literally an upstart goblin. With him, you banish a face down card from your extra deck face up, and depending on what it is, if it's anything except a link, you get to draw a card, and this gets discarded to the grave. So if it was a link, you get special summon, but we don't play links, so we're always going to get that draw 1 off him. So he's literally an upstart. That's his sole purpose, is to be an upstart. He's not bad at all. I thought about maybe like doing like 2 of him with an upstart, which honestly isn't too bad. I've never had the issue where I came up with opening multiples. So, alright, so the best card in the deck, Dual Avatar Invitation. With this, you discard a card, summon as many tokens as possible, and then you fusion summon twice. You have a hard once per turn. You can only activate this card. So all the dual avatar traps and spells have like a hard. This card can only be activated once per turn. Just throwing it out there. So if your opponent negates, pay attention to what they with their card text to see if it negates activations. Because if they negate the activation, you can use these cards again if you have multiples. That's not something people pay attention to, so you need to be more aware of what your opponent's negates do. Alright, so next up, play 3 copies of Perfect Sync Daeun. So with this is where I was talking about, 1 card combo here. So with this card, when it's activated, you add a dual avatar from deck to hand, and then if you control a dual avatar, you can summon a token, and then you're locked into fusions for the rest of the turn. So that's basically what that card does. So yeah, you basically activate this, get Fist, and then you summon Fist, you make the token, pop the token, grab Invitation, discard, and then you summon 4 tokens, and you get 2 fusion monsters. So that's like the main combo there. Next up, I play 3 copies of Dual Avatar, Defeating Evil. You can cut down to 2 if you want. So the reason why I'm playing this in particular is because this is like another form of interruption. You target dual avatar you control and destroy it, and you destroy one of your opponent's monsters. If it was a fusion, then you can draw a card or either banish a... can't remember if it's a monster or a card from your opponent's grave. Yeah, you banish 1 card from your opponent's grave. The reason why I play 3 is because not only is it a form of interruption, but it's also a form of draw power. And honestly, that's not like terrible. Like, I mean, there's better cards, but considering it's like a main deck interruption, like it's a dual avatar interruption and a draw, like it's not too bad. You're basically getting 2 things right there, so it's not terrible at all, honestly. I like it. But yeah, like, I would say at least play like 1 or 2 maybe. Next up, 3 copies of Fusion Deployment here. I know I saw some debate on this quite some time ago with the deck. So with this, you reveal a fusion in your graveyard, your extra deck. Sorry, I'm like kind of tired, so yeah. But reveal a fusion in your extra deck that specifically lists a monster on it, and then you summon from the deck that monster that's listed on there. So you have both Empowered Ongyo and Empowered Ongyo now. So you can basically just activate this and get either Fist or Feet on the field. So it's the most expensive card on the deck. I think it's like $12. You kind of have to play it, honestly. It really helps the consistency. You're locked into fusions though, but that really just doesn't matter because all you do in this deck is fuse. It's just necessary, like straight up. Like if you're not playing it, I kind of feel like you're just not really playing the deck right in a sense. 1 copy of Reinforcing the Army. It just grabs this level 4 lower warrior, so we get our Fists and Feet. 1 copy of Terraforming, help us get that Perfect Sync Daeun, so we can start, popping off. So, yeah, that's it for the spells. Now for the traps. Play 3 copies of Dual Avatar Compact. With Compact, this ends up, you banish a Dual Avatar spell or trap, and then this becomes the activated effect of that card. So yeah, it's like really nice because with this you can essentially becomes any of the spell and traps you want. So you basically get to play like 6 Invitations, 6 Defeating Evils. I'm technically then playing 4 copies of Ascendance. Which, speaking of dual avatar ascendants, I play 2 copies. So with this card, I think you have to at least play 2. With this, it's like a level up or no, not level up. Transmodify is the card I'm thinking of. I think it's a transmodify transmodify and like beat down. You basically pop a dual avatar you control, and then you can go into a dual avatar who's a level higher or level lower. So that's like really cool because you basically can, you can pop, was it Armored Ungio after you use the extra deck negate, and then you can go into Empowered Ongio, or not Empowered, sorry, Armored Ongio, and then like pop an opponent's monster. So it allows some really interesting stuff. That's just like one example right there. Um, Really interesting like interruptions on your opponent's turn. It's pretty cool. So it has a second effect where, except for the turn that it's sent to the grave, you can banish it and then you add a dual avatar from your graveyard to hand. So that's pretty cool. Then I play 1 copy of Dual Avatar Return. It's basically like a back to the front for dual avatars. Just special summon one from your graveyard. If you special summon low 4 lower, you get the token, so sets you up right there for some fist plays. You can honestly cut it. I do think it's like a nice one of, honestly. It's just not terrible, and then because of compact, you're basically playing like 2 copies of it. So I think it's worth playing at 1. That's just my thoughts and opinion on it. But you could cut it if you really wanted to. So going for the other traps, the non-dual avatar traps, I play 3 copies of Rivalry of the Warlord. Lock our opponent into only one type, because all we play is warriors. And then 3 copies of Gozen Match. Lock our opponent into one attribute. Because we only play light warriors. Like everything in this deck is light warrior, except for Link Apple, which we're not ever summoning. We're just using the effect to upstart Goblin, and then we got 3 copies of the new DDDD Different Dimension Derby, or I just call it DDDDD. So the thing is, because we're fusion summoning with tokens, our fusions actually were made with normal monsters. Tokens are considered as normal monsters. So with this, you basically get to target and banish a card your opponent control, or a monster your opponent controls, if you have a monster that was linked, fusion, exceed, whatever, with a normal monster. So yeah, it's literally just kind of like a free banish, monster removal. So yeah, and then I played 2 copies of Awaken the Dragon. Just why not? I was just kind of like, I don't know what I really want to put in for my last 2 slots. And I just was like thinking, making the dragon, because we are kind of back row heavy with this deck. So this honestly isn't a horrible main deck at all. It's not bad. These can be whatever you really want, but considering, if you're going this route and doing the rivalry with the Gozen, I think like Waking the Dragon wouldn't be a bad option at all, especially since we have so much monster removal right now. But yeah, there's obviously going to be formats too where doing like rivalry and Gozen isn't that good. I think like right now it's kind of just okay, but yeah, it's not bad at all. If I had another slot, I'd play a 3rd, but I don't. So that's it for the main deck. Now we're going to go to the extra deck, which is 3 copies of Dual Avatar Armored Ungio. So this guy, basically, if a dual avatar you control will be destroyed, you can destroy a different one instead. So it's got like some protection. If you control a fusion that was fusion summoned using an effect monster, you can negate the effects of a opponent's extract monster till the end of the turn. Then 3 copies of Dual Avatar Armored Ungyo. Ungyo. Sorry, that's Ungyo. This is Ungyo. Like I said, I'm tired. It's like 1 in the morning as I'm recording, and these guys, just the names are all so close. So forgive me on that, guys. This guy, now if he's special summoned, you pop a monster your opponent controls. He can't attack directly though, so he's mainly here for like clearing board presence. I like him. He's probably I want to say my favorite one. And then with him, if you control a fusion that was fusion summoned using a effect monster, you can have all your dual avatars gain 300 attack. So that's pretty freaking cool. So next up, play dual avatar empowered. What was that? Mitsujaku. So I want to say empowered Ongyo, but I know that's not it. So with Mitsujaku here, what he does is, if a dual avatar monster you control will be destroyed for the first time, it's not. You get to return your opponent's back row during the main phase, if I remember correctly. And then I forget the last effect on him. So if you control 2 more fusion monsters, and your opponent's monster effects activate quick effect, you destroy that monster. So it's kind of like a ghost ogre right there. So yeah. He's the one I probably use the least, honestly. So then I have 3 copies of Dual Avatar Empowered Kongyo. So with him, your opponent can't activate, if he battles, your opponent can't activate any cards until the end of the damage step. So your opponent can't mirror force you and crap if, just for example, if you attack with him. And was it I know he's got protection on it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really tired. So yeah, and then after damage calculation, you can turn 1 monster your opponent controls to the hand. And then that's what it was. I can remember. So then, if your opponent activates a spell or trap or monster effect that targets him specifically while you control 2 fusions, you negate the activation on him or on that card. So yeah, I just couldn't remember the second effect on it, the bounce back. So, and then last up for the Waking the Dragon target, I play 3 copies of The Last Warrior from Another Planet. Got that OG prints here. Freaking love them. I wish they were first ed, but they're not. This basically just says nobody can summon. That's literally what it is. Your opponent wants to pop the back row, cool. Now they just can't play. They might as well scoop. That's just how it is. Basically, it's just, punch your opponent, just say the ultimate fuck you. It's literally what it is. So that's it for this deck, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Go ahead and comment any comments y'all have. Don't forget to harpoon that subscribe button, guys. It really helps the channel out. A lot of you who watch just aren't subscribed. And don't forget to harpoon that like button. It really helps the channel out. And link in the description down below to my Instagram, if you guys haven't checked it out. And my buddy, Steven Slams, he recently made a new YouTube channel. So I'm going to put a link in the description to his YouTube channel. Guys, go ahead, check him out. He's a pretty freaking cool dude. He's been on the channel before. So, he's done some stuff. Really awesome guy. And I will see y'all in the next video.